Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. A little bit different scenery today. I am currently positioned in my R31 Unicorn. For one of the reasons, I haven't sat in this for weeks now because of a whole bunch of other shit going on outside and work and other life things happening. So I figured, why the hell not? I'll sit in it. There's a few things I want to check on it. I actually haven't really given this a once over since the figure eight, the dry figure eight that I did a little while ago. Still have to do a wrap up kind of review video of that as well, which will be coming soon. As I said, a bunch of shit going on outside, so haven't had as much time to do content as I want. So it has been a hot minute since I've been on here. So I figured, why not? I'd have to have a once over the car, so why not do the video in here at the same time? Anyway, beside the point. So yeah, a bit of a catch up. Nothing's really happened with the car since the figure eight. There were a few issues I found whilst doing the figure eight, being a much grippier track. There's a few issues I had on the night that I had to deal with. Had to take the front wheels off a couple of times and fix the camber up because the camber kept getting pulled out of the coilovers and knuckles. Essentially, the front camber is achieved. It's kind of cheating. The coilovers actually have an elongated slot where the two bolts from the knuckles go into. The holes in the knuckles are a round hole. The bolt fits neatly into. But the coilovers themselves, the bracket has an elongated bolt hole. Because of that, you can kind of, where the bolt goes through, you can kind of push it back. And you actually get a bit of a tilt on the knuckles and hence the wheel. You pull up about 3 degrees, thereabouts, of camber on the front. It is noticeably different. The problem with that, though, is because it wasn't really held in place properly, you can get offset bolts. I've just got normal bolts in there. I'm having to order some offset bolts. But because I had normal bolts in there and figure eight is a lot grippier, I had my fronts gripped up. Not on purpose, but I had them gripped up so I could get a little bit more maneuverability. But they'd grip and they'd grip the bottom of the tire and pull that camber out because it wasn't a hard stop, nothing really stopping it from pulling out. So that I'd sort of get a lap, maybe a lap and a half. It'd go and I'd just completely understeer everywhere. It was horrible. So I'd sort of do every session I had to come off, take the front wheels off, push it back, take the front wheels off, push it back. Pain in the ass. Anyway, so I've got to get some offset bolts to fix that. First things I need to do between now, I've got, what's today? Today is Monday. I have, not this Friday, next Friday, GTR Fest. I have, for some stupid reason, entered this in the display category. Kind of like show and shine, but there is like the elite vehicles show and shine, which are, proper show vehicles. And then there's just celebration of Nissan and celebration of GTR, which is what I've entered. There are different GTR categories. Obviously, this is not a GTR, but there is a Nissan, another Nissan category, which you get a whole bunch of different Nissan cars, but there is a lot of Skylines, just generic Skylines, GTSs and GTs and stuff like that. There was a couple of 31s out there last year. Much better condition than this. Much better condition than this. But I figured, why the hell not? Have a bit of fun. Take it out there. I'm going to be going anyway, so why not enter? It does give me a cheap spectator ticket, so yeah, whatever. So there's a few things I want to do before that. I need to paint all my rims black. After painting putting the 16 inches on that are black, the black rims look so much better against the purple. So much against the purple. I'm thinking way ahead. Against the silver outside, it looks heaps better. The black rim, silver cart, and the purple lug nuts look way better. So I'm going to paint my old silver 15-inch rims black as well. I want them all painted up. I've got to put the 15 inches back on for GTR Fest, purely because my tyres on the 16 inches are dead after the figure eight. And at this point, this month's a bit hectic for us, so no way I've got budget to get new tyres on the back. The ones on the 15s are fine. I paint them black, they'll look fine for GTR. I need to get that done. Obviously, I need to fix up the camber that's on the front. And also need to cut and polish the entire car. I want to polish it up so it looks all nice and pretty. And if I have time, potentially look at getting the speakers done for the back. That's kind of the bottom of the list. It's not a high priority for me, but it's something I still want to do. So I need to get that done. Outside of that, GTR Fest, there's not really much I'm going to get done. I am going to try and get the rocker cover bolts done. So I've got the dress-up bolts from PRP, purple and black ones. Well, purple and black or black and silver, can't remember. but I've got them to put on, so I should be able to get those done as well. Just give the engine bay a bit of a tidy up and a clean up, just to make it look pretty. It's not really a show engine bay, it's pretty shit stock. So I probably won't have the bonnet open whilst we're there, it'll be shut. But just in case anyone wants to have a look, or I happen to be with the car, I'll open the bonnet up while I'm there. And then at least it looks a little bit nicer than the crappy nuts that are on there at the moment. So that'll be it for GTR Fest. Outside of that, I have come up with my, I suppose, plan of attack for where I'm going. So the body is rough. We know that. The paint job, I've spoken about it multiple times. I've shown it in the previous videos. The horrible crow's feet all over it. It is rough. I have painted up, which I think was the last video I posted up. I have painted the black trim and the bumpers with a plasti dip spray. They look a million times better than what they were. Still, again, not perfect. I'd have to cut them back and sand them and do all sorts of stuff to get them looking perfect. But in terms of just general look, way, way better. The body itself is not great. It's rough. It needs a complete cutback and a complete repaint, respray. That is something that's not going to happen for a long time, and it's not going to happen until I've gotten pretty much everything else I want done to it done. I don't want to be getting a beautiful respray and then be working on the engine. You find most people get the respray done while they're working on the engine and everything else outside of the car. I'm going to be working on the engine majoritively whilst it's in the car, so I don't want to be leaning over a nicely painted front quarter, scratching it up and just making the car dirty and whatever. So that won't get done until then. I am going to be patching up bits of rust as we go and tidying that sort of stuff up, which I know I've mentioned before. There's a few little things here and there that I'm going to play around with. Main goal at the moment is to get more performance out of it. There's a few things I have in mind. Obviously, turbo's the biggest, going to be the biggest thing. There's a lot of stuff I can do to it that will get small increments. I'm not going to get a massive power output until I go something like turbo. But in saying that, there's a few little things I can do. Obviously, exhaust is going to be the main thing. It's probably the easiest and cheapest thing to do. Exhaust, cam, valve springs, port polish, skim the head, that sort of stuff. I do have a second head there. I have a second RB30 head that I'm going to start working on. I'm going to start doing some videos about that as well. I'm thinking I'm probably going to do a port and polish myself on it. Going to learn how to do it. Going to do the port and polish myself. Obviously, full clean, reseat. I will get the heavy duty springs for it that will fit the cam when I put the cam in, because I'm going to go a stage 2 cam. Not sure at this stage whether I go a Kelford cam or a Crow cam. Potentially looking at Kelford. They're a little bit more expensive, but I've heard better things about them than others. I'm saying that both of them are about the same, but I know Kelford people. I've seen a lot of reviews about Kelford cams in the RB30. A lot of people rate them. Looking at a stage 2, which is suitable for NA and turbo, street, track. It's sort of a nice little combination. A little bit on the lumpy side, but not so lumpy that you can't drive it in the street. But at the same time, a lot more performance, and it's got a nice little lumpy tune to it as well. So yeah, I'm going to slowly collect things to do to it. Whether I get a custom-made exhaust, I'm very much a DIYer. I would love to get a welder and fab up my own exhaust. That's not going to happen because I haven't got the budget for a welder at this point. But I'm looking at potentially, I'm just going to basically keep my eye out on Facebook Marketplace as 3-inch exhausts come up that are a similar size and shape. If I can get one stupidly cheap, I'll get it cheap and then just get it cut and modified to fit the 31. It's 3-inch tube. 3-inch tube is 3-inch tube. Obviously keep an eye out for a muffler as well. I am looking 3-inch. I was looking 2.5 to 3. The 3-inch, I've seen a lot more higher performance RBs with the 3-inch as opposed to the 2.5. Then everyone says the 3-inch is too much for NA and can be a little bit iffy for turbo. I'm eventually going to go turbo, so the 3-inch will be fine in turbo. But whether it's just going to be too big for NA until I get the turbo, because turbo is going to be a long while off. Like I'm not, unless I stumble over some, garage fine, someone just wants to get rid of right place, right time kind of thing. That's not happening for a while. So yeah, looking at just kind of slowly collecting bits and pieces. Main one's going to be exhaust, cam, springs at the same time. Turbo and obviously the turbo I'm going to have to source some sort of an ECU mod. whether it's an is-tune, whether it's a piggyback, I'm not sure. I'll see what I can get at the time. But again, long term, I'd love to get a full ECU, but that's not going to happen because that's thousands of dollars. And the budget does not stretch that much, short of winning the 100 million lotto this week, which would be nice, in which case, yeah, there's going to be a lot more drift cars involved and bigger. And actually, no, I'll just stick with this one and just mod the fuck out of it. I'll be hitting up PRP for a billet block and God knows what else. But yeah, lots of plans coming, lots of content coming, hopefully. I am starting to get a little bit more into the drifting on the sim as well, which I'm wanting to get that, wanting a little bit more content of that up as well. It's getting hard to get it to the track. It's not getting harder for me to get at the track, but at the moment, it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of events going on. I don't know if that's a winter thing. I don't know if it's just Sydney Motorsport Park fucking us over because they just don't like drifters. Everyone knows that I'm kind of linked with ARDC, and I have got I do favourite their events. Just because I love the crew that run them, love the crowd that come along to them. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of events coming up for any company or brand. I am going to have to possibly look at some other ones. My main goal, as I've mentioned in previous videos, my main goal this year is to get on main track by my birthday, or at least be prepared to book in by my birthday, which is in a little bit over a month and a half, 2 months. What's today? 13th. No, 2 months today. I'm not going to be confident to get on the main track unless I get a lot more practice, which is one of the reasons I'm getting on the sim, just to get the muscle memory. I have bought myself a hydro for the sim as well. This little thing needs to get adjusted something horrid if I'm going to use this, because to be honest, the reverse gear is the only thing currently holding me on the driveway. If I took that off, we'd probably start to creep a little bit, which I know is not great for the gearbox, but it does hold. I have got a riff the living fuck out of it, so it's definitely not going to be something I'm going to be able to tweak nice and easily for drifting. But clutch kicking is pretty much what I do everywhere anyway at the moment. I'm not going fast enough to need to do handbrake that much. We'll play around with it on the wet pan next time on there, but that's a different story. Yeah, a few mods coming. Hopefully a lot more content. Hopefully I can get some sim content up as well. I would love to get on and do some live streams of either myself drifting, like myself sim racing, sim drifting, or even getting on and driving around with a couple of the guys. Not sure my laptop can handle that because I run it all off a laptop, all my editing, all my photos, videos, everything, all my sim, everything comes off the laptop. So not sure how it's going to like streaming and simming and everything all at the same time. We'll see. I might be able to play around with the display settings and drop them right down so that it kind of has a little bit more memory to deal with. Yeah, outside of that, hopefully a lot more content coming soon. I do apologize for being MIA for a little bit. I know my goal this year was to try and get something up every day, but yeah, life gets in the way, unfortunately. I will be doing a review slash debrief slash catch up of my first experience in the figure eight. FYI, fucking awesome. Huge learning curve, so much more fun, so much more violent. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos of the in-car footage of me driving the figure eight, but goddamn, it's a lot more violent. Massive step in learning curve, but it was really exciting. Shit myself the first lap out, but after that realized it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and yeah, had an absolute blast. Amazing night, was incredibly fun. Definitely booking for the next one, cannot wait. I'm looking. I was actually looking at the calendar last night to see if I could see when the next figure eight was. 100% booking in for that. It is so much fun. Yeah, so yeah, exciting things to come. Hopefully we get some progress soon. I somehow find a way of affording mods for this thing and get a bit more speed and a bit more power out of it, because that is the one thing it is lacking. Yeah, so stay tuned. As always, like, subscribe, comment below if you want to see anything or you like the videos. Love to hear from everyone. Merch is available. Links are all below. I'd love your support. If there's any merch that you guys want to see, if there's any merch you want to see with your car on it, I am doing custom merch. Any of my photos, obviously I can't use other people's photos for copywriting, and I would never do that. But any of my photos that I've grabbed of you on the track, off the track, of your car, of you, I have plenty of custom designs that I can whack your photos into. So if there's anything you want to see, or any designs you want to see that I haven't done yet, any ideas you might want to throw around, I'm happy to come up with some custom ideas and work together to come up with some custom designs for your own merch. Give us a yell. It's all available below. Links are all down below. So yeah, stay tuned, and I will see you out on the track.